Brett Kavanaugh has been sworn in as a U.S. Supreme Court judge by one of the narrowest margins in the country's history, with hundreds of people protesting on Capitol Hill. That's after the FBI failed to find convincing evidence that Kavanaugh committed sexual assault. Senators who took the floor represented a deep polarization, representing the whole country.
When the history of the Senate is written, this chapter will be a flashing red warning light of what to avoid. Truly, Judge Kavanaugh's confirmation is a low moment for the Senate, for the court, for the country.
I just don't see how we can put somebody on the Supreme Court who thinks that the president is above the law.
At the very least, we should expect a nominee for our highest court to be honest. I do not believe Judge Kavanaugh has met this standard.
He puts his thumb on the scale of justice in always with a bias towards corporate interests.
I knew him as an honest and dedicated public servant.
I was proud to be at the White House as President Trump announced the nomination of this exceptionally qualified judge.
I do not see an open mind. I do not see fairness. I see a partisan ideologue who will do judicial backflips to rule in favor of large corporations, the powerful, and the elite.
Confirming Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court will further erode and undermine the court's legitimacy and continue to diminish the American people's trust in it.
Police arrested more than 150 demonstrators on the steps of the U.S. Capitol in Washington on Saturday. Some protesters continually stalled the voting by shouting from the Senate gallery, and the chair, U.S. Vice President Mike Pence, had to ask for order at least a dozen times.
Sergeant at Arms will restore order in the gallery. Sergeant at Arms will restore order in the gallery. The Sergeant at Arms will restore order in the gallery. The Sergeant at Arms will restore order in the gallery.
Donald Trump has denounced how Democrats conducted themselves by likening their actions to mob rule. Well, my colleague Neil Harvey earlier discussed the issue with Scotty Nell Hughes, RT America's evening news host. She thinks that Kavanaugh's confirmation highlights the deep split in America just ahead of November's midterm elections.
We're able to pull it back and say, no, facts matter. We actually need to see what we have hard evidence on. That might hurt long term the women's movement here in the United States, as many women were supporting the accuser just because they felt like accusers had not been heard recently in the United States. This is 1 year to the day of the Me Too movement happening. On the other hand, in the end, people needed to make sure that there was evidence, and I think that's the reason why you saw so many GOP senators who might have been wavering actually go on and push the confirmation through.
Do you think we can equate support for Trump's man as support for Trump himself?
They're going to try to. Whether that's true or not, it's up to everybody. I don't think this issue has won people over to cross over the lines and either be for or against President Trump. It just shows how deeply divided America is right now, and that's very interesting. 4 weeks out from a midterm election for President Trump, everything right now is for or against President Trump. There's no sort of I like him, but I don't support his policies. It is truly a very partisan, divided country, and unfortunately, as has come out recently, a lot of the issues that came out over the Kavanaugh has been because of the media and the dishonest media here in the United States that were showing on both sides, putting out allegations that kind of showed they had more of an agenda than just reporting the facts.